So, at the time of this, Microsoft had purchased Activision this week for $70 billion in an all-cash deal.
My mind is still blown.
By the time this episode goes out, there'll be a lot more details to come about it. But I'm sure this topic is going to completely bomb because it's not going to be talking worthy. But they still have to approve the sale, all cash. Still got to approve it. So maybe it'll work out by the time this episode goes up. Who cares? But the dust has settled enough for us to talk about it, research it. What do you think about Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard for, again, I say, just over $70 billion in an all-cash deal?
Well,
I feel poor.
Yeah, we all lost our minds when they bought Bethesda for $7 billion. We were like, they're madmen for that. They're like, oh, what, an extra zero? Okay, all right, we'll do it. Yeah, we got briefcases right here. Take it. Take our money. Yeah, I believe if I was read correctly, I think it was like 68.7 to be like completely accurate. But no one cares about accuracy. $7 billion sounds nicer. But I first took it as, Microsoft's swinging for the fences this generation. And they're looking past this generation. They're looking for the future. Like, all right, how can we build Microsoft to last for the future? Just buy up everybody.
Pretty much. No competition.
Which that alone kind of makes me scared for the future because I'm like, okay, so Microsoft bought Bethesda that first time. Sony responded by locking up Bluepoint, locking up, I forgot who else they locked up, and now Microsoft's getting Activision. It's like, I'm scared that this generation is just going to be the big behemoths just buying up all the other companies to make them like, all right, we are just literally just straight up Microsoft, Sony. Then there's Nintendo Switch. I mean, the Switch is a juggernaut as it is, so they don't even give a damn about what's going on here. But I mean, it's a big money move for secure Microsoft future. I mean, Call of Duty and Candy Crush alone, those two are just two big behemoths themselves. They just rake in all of the cash for them.
Oh, Candy Crush. Did you know that the mobile games market in Asia is like stupid lucrative? Mm-hmm. Candy Crush makes $7 billion a year.
Oh yeah, it's like Japan alone. Mobile market is huge. Like Switch destroys PS5 over there for crying out loud. Like
no way.
Yeah, Switch is destroying everything in Japan because they can take it on the go. The mobile market is huge over there.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
did not even think about that for a second.
Oh yeah, like Xbox is basically dead in Japan. The fact that PS5 sales are being destroyed by Switch sales just screams that the future over there is just straight up like mobile or handheld or something. So it's like, makes me wonder if like because we're talking about like they're just adding all these games to Game Pass. There's a chance that Sony is going to be introducing their version of Game Pass here shortly. Are we looking towards where Microsoft and Sony might be trying to do like they did in the Wii generation, where Sony made their own version of like the PlayStation Move, and then Microsoft made the Kinect? Are they about to make their versions of the Switch, like Xbox taking on the Go with Game Pass and all that stuff, and then Sony will take it on their versions? Like, is that a future that we're about to slowly transition to here?
Well, a little bit. We're kind of already there.
Yes.
Because Microsoft, and I have this nice little thing in the show notes I completely forgot about that I wrote down like 3 days ago. It's great. Microsoft, they sort of they're not really in the arms race with PCs and Sony to make the most powerful, fastest console. Like, they do it because the market expects it, but they're not trying to sit there and go 3,000 frames a second. Like, they're not there. But like what they've done over the past couple of years is they've made like a serious like effort to where you can stream any game anytime. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like, hey, you want to come home? You want a cloud game? Bam, you got that. You want to clock out of work for an hour? You want to play in your car on your phone? You got that. You want to play on your laptop? You got that too. You want to play on your Kindle? We got that too. Like, they've made it so convenient to play the wealth of games they have on Game Pass anywhere. And I think that that's definitely the future, because like a lot of US gamers are not going to sit there and play games on their phone, but if you can play their console games on the phone, you're great. Because I remember back when Fortnite had just became a big thing, people could play on their phones, and that just took over. But like, imagine asking someone, hey, couldn't help but notice you're really into the Final Fantasy VII remake. Well, how would you feel if we put part 2 on your phone? Like, nobody's going to play part 2 on their iPhone. But you can stream it to your phone.
Overheat so fast.
Oh, it'd blow up. But you can stream it, which I think is excellent. And Microsoft buying Bethesda kind of shows me that the wealth of games, not Bethesda, that the giant Activision Blizzard games, like their library, they're just going to say, that's on Game Pass now too.
I mean, just off the top of your head, you got World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Call of Duty, Candy Crush. Blanking, help me.
No,
help
it's
me.
fine. But is while you mentioned
Diablo.
Overwatch, is Overwatch a dead game? Or is it just kind of not being talked about as much?
I have not played it in a hot minute, but that's just because I've wanted a break from multiplayer games for a majority of my adult life. Overwatch was the one that hooked me for a couple
YouTube
years.
audience, please leave a comment. I'm not even trying to slander because people love going, dead game, dead game. No, I genuinely don't know how popular Overwatch is.
The concern right now is if Overwatch 2 is even going to happen because they announced it and then it's just kind of like, what the hell's going on with that game?
See, and Destiny brought this up. Sometimes you don't need a sequel. You can just keep adding content. But the issue is removing old content to make room for new content, and then people get angry. But, like, you don't need a true sequel because then you have to port over.
Yeah, and the big argument is that they said that anyone that has original Overwatch, they will still have access to the new stuff that comes out in Overwatch 2. So it's like, so what's the point of Overwatch 2 besides just seeming like a cash grab?
Yeah.
You could have just added, literally just add it all in as a big update and call that update like Overwatch the new generation or something, or just some catchy title.
Yeah, because when you have games as long running and as big as Overwatch, you're going to use the resources you built in Overwatch to make Overwatch 2. And at that point, you can just make an extra Overwatch to add on to what you already have. You don't need to hard divide. Like, people get the sequel or stop. Yeah, you don't need it.
Is it as hot as it was in like 2017, 2018? God, no. It is nowhere near as hot as it was. I mean, Team Zenyatta for life. But but no, it's nowhere near as hot as it was, but it's still a moneymaker. Got merch. I'm pretty sure they still do pretty decent, like just merch sales alone. Just the name brand of it alone, it's hot and still decent enough in the multiplayer market to where it's a big enough name to be important enough to be there.
On a quick side note of the multiplayer market, did you see that Fortnite was considering adding or is going to add a no build mode to their battle royale? I would play it at that point.
Bloody damn less about Fortnite.
Okay. So we don't have to stay here that long. But I just remember I downloaded Fortnite on my phone like everybody had at that point when it was blowing up. Mm-hmm. And I pull up on one guy, and I'm like, all right, it's go time. And then next thing I know, a 58-story mansion pulled up in front of me, and I died. About had a seizure. Like, what the fuck happened?
The only time Fortnite was ever on my consoles was when my ex's like younger like family members were over and they wanted to play, and I'm just watching. I'm just like, what's even going on?
Yeah,
that dude just flew out of nowhere. Why is there a skyscraper next to you all of a sudden? You're dead, and he's crying because he got like 17th place.
Yeah, not doing it. Not gonna get into Fortnite. Yeah. I can barely handle Apex.
And just the fact
I just played to have fun.
That just pulls in so many views on Twitch still, and you watch these Twitch streamers and how they're reacting when they're playing. It's just like. That just I don't need that energy. I don't need that vibe in my life.
We're gonna get into a lot of annoying Twitch streamers because there are so many Twitch streamers that just like they're really good at the game.
Give me a year or two, I'll be one of them.
Oh no, But all right, if you're ever one of these intense Twitch streamer guys, like you're playing Apex or something, and you're just like you're sweaty, try hard guy, and you're just like guy over there, he's pushing, I'm behind him. All right, I got this. All right, on your left, I got him. He's pushing, and I'm like. Please stop.
You've watched me stream, you know that.
Like if it's like if it's like a tournament going on, it's fine. But like I can't tell you the amount of people I've turned on to on like just an easy Sunday. I'm writing. I want something in the background, music, and my podcast. I'm saving for the office week, and some guys just intense. Like I got him. I'm going up front. I'm at the top of the map. I'm clicking, and then you just hear the constant clicking of their keys, and I'm like, what? It's not that serious.
Like, look, I just worked a 12-hour shift, man. I don't need this.
Exactly.
I just want to relax.
They take the game so serious. But anyway, so back to Microsoft. I think that this deal was for two main reasons. One, we already went over with the big games and whatnot that they have, and they're, like you said, thinking about the next generation, which I really think is good. That wasn't a point I had considered. Mm-hmm. I think that the industry... Not the consumers, the industry is trying to make this metaverse thing a thing and it kind of pisses me off. Like,
oh, they straight up mentioned the metaverse in their like talk about how them purchasing this and all that. It's like, please,
this gives me the gut feeling, and I can't prove this, but I just remember when Bitcoin appeared, like half the people were like, "Oh, this is the future. This is going to be great." And if you weren't one of those people, you thought it was stupid. Like, if you gave it any attention, there are some people that just still never cared. But like, either you thought it was great, the next best thing, or you were like, you're just putting money in a computer and it just does a thing that's like stocks, but with like an extra step or two.
Mm-hmm. Basically.
But now I feel like with so much talk about the metaverse where you just buy and sell digital goods and ideas, it's like, whatever. People like me, I'm like, that's stupid. Mm-hmm. But if it works, you're looking at trillions of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
And it feels like if it blows up to how they hope and think it will, they're going to be at the forefront of the wave because they're going to be creating a lot of the demand for it. Mm-hmm. So they're going to be sitting on their already giant bags of cash with more giant bags of cash. Mm-hmm. So, which, indirectly goes back to your point. Actually, directly back to your point about next generation. Because the next couple of years, the metaverse is either going to be a thing or it's not. And I don't think it's going to be a thing.
I hope it's not going to be a thing.
Again, honestly. It's huge. There's so much talk about it. Mm-hmm. With everybody talking about NFTs every other day, it kind of feels like this is just the next step. Mm-hmm. Speaking of NFTs, I saw it on Twitter where guys bought, like, I think one of the original copies of Dune for like $2 million. And they thought, and they were posting like, our next step now that we have Dune, we're going to make this public use so everybody can do whatever they want with it. And I'm like, you bought a copy. You don't own the thing. But it just felt like, these NFT bros are at it again.
They just make me feel smarter as an individual every time I hear words come out of their mouth.
Yeah.
Like that.
Just like, hey, that's a nice image you bought. Guess what I'm going to do? Screenshot or right-click, save as. Mm-hmm. Take it down.
Like, a lot of them just sound like they do not think things through fully.
Yeah,
before they do their choices and their actions. It's like,
without getting too serious in the internet culture, it feels like that thing where people see big things on the internet and they want to own it. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't buy a dance off the internet, but like, crediting the person that made it is so big, but people want to buy the images and memes you see on the internet. Mm-hmm. And like, the point of a lot of things on the internet, like Twitter is free, even though my data is not free. So you'll never know what just pops, like what's the meme of the week. You never know. Mm-hmm. So people trying to buy images and memes, it's just so stupid. Mm-hmm. It's like, bro, just go on somewhere. Enjoy the jokes like the rest of us.
Yeah, when someone's like, it's mine. It's like, no, you just claim it as your own.
I own this Minecraft skin. Like, no, good for you. I can make my own skin. I just need some JPEG work. And I need to know how to code. It's not that hard. MySpace made a whole generation of coders back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Got to get that wallpaper precise. Exactly how I want it.
Anyway, we can go ahead and talk about something else.